Beep beep, what is up ninjas? My name is Samworld, and in today's complete guide to master Spire episode, we are going to be making big room leads. Now, been getting heavily requested for it, so I have a little MIDI here that we're going to be using, which I might ditch halfway through. It doesn't sound that great, but it will be kind of like our basis for the sound, and let's put it down to F3. Now, first right off the bat, guys, most big room leads are going to be saw based. Saws are going to be really like kind of like the leads we want to go for. However, at the end of the video, once we have the sound done, I'm going to show you guys ways to vary it up and kind of give different variations of the big room lead so that you guys can go on your own little sound design journey and discover new things about yourself that you probably didn't want to know anyways. But anyways, guys, right off the bat, I'm just going to use a saw. And then from there, we're going to go into the unison, the voicing section of this. Now, here's where we decide if we want a very anthemic lead or if you want a more driven lead, which we'll usually stick with one voice. Now, if we want the more anthemic one, which we'll make right now, you know, we can have this detunement. From there, we can kind of shape the sound and have a bit more relief. And a bit of wideness to it. And that's the cool thing about sound design, guys, is that sometimes you don't need the S1 imager to make the sound wide. If you already know that you need more than one voice and you can input the wide up, then why use the S1 to begin with? So from here, we pick a filter. So we're going to go with the standard low pass, but once we finish the sound, we'll go back and I'll show you guys variations and my favorite filter and how you can mix different filters up together to get different results. Okay, so here we're using just the standard low pass. Alright, very simple. Sounds very cheesy, the melody, but it's cool. It's cool, you know, we're just worrying about the sound. So with the saws, I'm going to put them in mono. So it sounds like that. Mono portamento retrig, so it reactivates every single time I press a note. So we got that so far right now. Now, in order to add grit to the sound, there are various techniques I can show you guys. The first one is that we can use a very fast LFO on the pitch of our oscillator to give it a bit more gritness. So we have to use LFOs like in a high range. And let's sync this up and use 160. And then we're going to increase this. So you can kind of see we're starting to get the sound we want. You know, from here, it's time to decide if we want any pitch envelopes to affect the sound. So what I mean by that is if we go and route this to oscillator 1 pitch, if we go forward with that and use a very fast decay time, we can give a bit of punch. Now, if we go backward, we're going to get that sound. Let's give a bit of glide. Alright, so we're going to have that sound there, and we still don't got any effects to back this up. We're just, you know, deciding the tonality and everything of the sound. So here you can decide if you want the... So I'm going to go with more of a reverse on that. Now, I'm going to add another layer of sauce here, and I'm going to go for 5 voices and not detune a little bit hard. And put it more in the center here with the white. Give it a bit of X-cut. And then we're going to add a bit of a distortion to that. So there we go. We have a very standard big room sound. And then the last thing we do is EQ, guys. And the EQ is very important because if you're looking for a certain tonality out of the, you know, like that, then you're going to have to add EQ. And the EQ in Spire, you should look at it more as a sound design EQ rather than as a, oh, I need to make the sound fit my mix. This is where you're, again, the sound, it's all about the sound. So a lot of the Showtek vibe has this kind of boost here. You know, and you can even increase and decrease release if you want. So there we have that. Now, let's say you're trying to create more of a driven sound. Well, easily here what we could do is just lower this down, oscillator. So we only have one sound, and we're going to go with one. Now from here, my favorite filter to use, and this is where again we're adding variation to this, is the Bandpass. Now we do have this cutoff here affecting it, so we're gonna turn that. And let's use a different style of Bandpass, maybe Bandpass 2, which lets out more frequencies. And now we're gonna distort that. Add a bit of resonance. Let's put this back on and move the filter just a tiny bit, not too much. And when you're moving something like with a Bandpass with a high resonance, you're gonna get really cool sound. You know, because the distortion is distorting the sound that has a very high resonance coming in. It gives you different tonalities. You can even do backwards. And notice how it gives a nice vocal touch to it as well. Now, other things we could do as well with the LFO here, you know, we already have doing that pitch. We can go forward with it rather. Okay, now from here, you know, we can add another one to that LFO here, the cutoff of the filter as well, to give more grit to it. So again, you know, we're just deciding the sound to sound strong and sound fierce. Now here I could add other layers. For instance, let's say we want more of the vocal vibe. Well, I can easily go here and choose a vocal wavetable now. Notice how it sounds a bit So here what I'm going to do is do parallel filtering, so I can have one of them just affect oscillator 2 and oscillator 1 will have filter 1. So here I can have this guy just okay. Now other techniques that you can use also is drowning it in reverb and having low decay. The thing is that with the Spire reverb, it doesn't sound as good. So I do recommend that you have your own reverb and you put a high wet, low decay time to get that kind of sound, like the more of the, how do you say it, like the trap sound I want to say there. Now from here, guys, you know, the sky's the limit, because we can actually, you know, do other cool stuff. Like here we have like a comb filter that we can apply with a high resonance. And you get very different tonalities out of it. You just got to find the right one to use. And this is a bit harsh, honestly, as we can hear, so we got to be careful. Let's lower the volume a tad bit there. You know, we're getting really cool sounds out of it. Now, one of the new things that Spire has implemented as well is a shaper, which is kind of like just a standard saturation that you might want to put if you want to do cool stuff with it. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys to explore with it. Now, from here, you know, we can kind of ease up on the distortion, use different kinds. These are a bit too hard. Let's get that reverb back. Now, the other thing I do want to say, guys, is also going to be with the wavetable. One of the cool things about Spire that I really like is that each wavetable that you're going to have in Spire can be a hybrid of a saw and the wavetable. So if I put the wavetable mix at the halfway mark, let's get rid of. You know, that could be half a brass one, half a saw, or half a Bayan, half a, you know, like, you know, you name it, piano. So play around with these settings as well. And then you add the EQ. So, you know, it's all about having fun, guys. But this is just a quick course on how to achieve big room leads inside of Spire. Spire is definitely going to have a sound to it, and there's much more that you could do, mess around with phasers and stuff like that. But again, watch the whole series if you haven't, if you want to get into those things and know how to use them. This is just a quick crash course to get you guys making big room leads fast. With that being said, ninjas, you guys take care, and you guys have an amazing day.